Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Digicel Business. Get everything your business needs in one package with Digicel Business Hub.
And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Business Buzz here on Radio Cayman. Thank you so much for joining us, to our listeners and our viewers on YouTube. We do appreciate you joining us this morning. It's, like I say, it's Tuesday morning. It's the day after the long holiday Easter weekend, so we're all tired from camping and dominoes and just about everything else. Good morning, DJ Lynn. Saying good morning to our producer, Miss Susan Watson, who is also, she's on vacation. Good morning, Susan. And most importantly, to our guest in the studio this morning, we have Mr. Chester Frederick. He is the general manager of Lee's Office Products Limited, where customer satisfaction is guaranteed. And he's joined by his son, Chester Jr. And they're going to confuse me this morning because I'll be Chester Sr., Chester Jr. But that's okay. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, Anita. Good
So
morning.
I call Dad Lee and Junior Chester. So we don't say Lee all the time.
Yeah,
All right. So you both work basically, even though you're the GM, Lee, you are the owner and you work just as hard as everybody else
yes,
at Lee's
yes.
Office Products.
Yes. Good morning to our beautiful islands, and first of all, thank Radio Cayman for giving us the opportunity to be here this morning, and Susan, and likewise yourself for making it happen. And we have done this over the years, and it's been a while since we have been on the radio. So it's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here this morning. So as you have introduced us this morning, Chester Senior and Chester Junior. So I'll just let him say good morning to our listening audience this morning.
Good morning, good morning. I just want to thank our beautiful islands for the continued support that we've had over the many years. I think this year, Mr. Lee was just explaining to me, this is actually our 20th year in business. So yes, I just want to say a healthy good morning to everyone out there that's listening, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you enjoy our section of the show.
You know, I was going to ask you about your history, but you just went right into it, Chester. 20 years.
Yes, actually, I was just saying to Junior, Chester Junior, just a few minutes before we started. You know, April, as a matter of fact, 20 years since we started Lee's Office Products.
And, you know, I've known Chester, just when he was about 2 years old?
Yes.
And look at that. Now, so you can retire early, right, Lee?
Well, I'm sort of semi-retired, but I'm
He's on the
mainly
way to it.
dealing, mainly dealing with the with my tour business, and
Okay.
that's a little bit on hold right now. So
right.
but I dedicate myself more to the tourism business now, and Chester Jr. he's heading up the office supply business with Miss Stella, so they're pretty much in charge of that.
If you're listening, Miss Stella, good morning.
Yes.
That's mommy.
So just to give you a brief history of Lee's Office Products. Lee's Office Products started out in 2001. And Susan, when starting out a business is not that easy most of the time. But Lee's Office Products was started out at a very tough time at that moment in time. But tell you what, it was something that I love doing, because most importantly, I love to give service, and our customers is very important to us in every aspect of this business. And I worked for a few companies previously before starting Lee's Office Products, so it was very easy for me to launch out.
Transition.
And
Yeah, I remember when you were at Hampstead.
Yes, Hampstead.
We worked right next door to
Yes,
each other for years. Yeah.
Right next door.
I remember when you used to lug all that paper upstairs.
Yes.
So Lee, you worked hard through the years, and here you are.
Yes, very hard, and most importantly,
20 years after.
thank God for the ability that He has given, and the opportunity which you have also given, and 20 years of it has been tremendous. We have seen God's blessing over the years, and we're very grateful and thankful for the accomplishment. And as I've said, over the last pretty much 3-4 years, I've been a little bit sidelined in regard to the other business, and then just left Junior since he came back from graduating from the U.S. College, and then we decide he's going to take over for a bit, and with his mom. So he's pretty much the one who is in charge now. But 20 years of it has been, as I said, very hard work, and I would never regret it. In other words, would never regret, starting that business.
And especially, when you retire, since you're semi-retire, that Junior is going to take over the business.
Yes,
wholly and solely, and your business will be in good hands.
Yes, there's no doubt
Very
about
good
that.
hands.
Yes, and he has done great so far.
So let me ask, since you're out in the boat all day, Lee, we're going to ask Chester, what are the main items that you carry at Lee's Office Products?
Okay, so at Lee's Office Products, we have the full suite of office supplies. Anything starting from a paper clip or a push pen, to a computer or printer, anything in between there that you can associate with an office, we have it. And even if we don't have it, we'll get it for you.
Oh, you special order as well?
Yes, we do.
Anything that, say, I need a certain item for my office, you order that?
Yes.
You can special order?
Yeah, we can special order. So we do have the majority of your basic items. Your basic items, as well as specialty items in the store. But if we did need to special order something for you in any particular reason, the maximum time you'll wait is maybe 3 weeks. It's between 2 to 3 weeks, and you have the possibility of early delivery. It just depends on, customs these days and, shipping. So
shipping, right.
Yes.
How things are on the other end.
Yes.
So how can Lee's Office Products Limited, how can you still help businesses to streamline their flow of documents and save money?
Okay.
That's the best part.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Lately, I don't know if you've passed by the store anytime recently, but we've actually went through a rebranding. And one of the things that I wanted to bring to the Cayman Islands with that rebranding is a new view of business. So our business is now mainly gearing towards, we do have a retail store, but one of the things that we wanted to provide is making business more streamlined in general for other small businesses or other businesses that need our services. So streamlining in terms of documents and printing and anything in between there. We actually print business cards. If you have emergency documents that you need printed, or if you're just doing, we have companies bring their legal affairs to us that we print out all their documents, we sort it for them, we place it in binders. Anything that you need printed or just in general.
We do all the hard work.
We can
all
do
the
it
heavy
for you.
lifting here.
Yeah, so
with regards to paper lifting.
Yes, anything just to make your job easier, we'll do it for you.
Very good.
So
you had one part of that store. So you, at Paddington Place.
Yes.
So you're all the way down to the end. You have the downstairs, entire downstairs.
We have the 3 middle units for the bottom floor at that front building in Paddington Place. Yes.
Nice. Okay. No, I haven't. I've been in there in a while.
Well, you should stop.
I need paper clips.
Yeah, come through.
So those are your printing solutions. Now, do you carry wireless printers as well?
Yes, we do carry wireless printers, starting from the most basic and going up to the most basic desktop inkjet printer, going straight up to larger laserjet printers. It just depends on what your company needs or your personal needs are in terms of printing.
But you still carry printers that use wires.
Yeah.
Cords.
Funny enough, a lot of people don't actually realize that the wireless printers, that's just an option that comes with the printer, but you still have the option to plug it in using the wire.
Okay. Yeah. But listen, once you go wireless, you don't go back.
Yeah.
All those cords in the back of the gathered dust.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Some people get worried about it saying that it's wireless, because these days a lot of people aren't. A lot of the older folk aren't very tech savvy. So when you say wireless, I can sit at my desk
with my smartphone and print.
Yeah, exactly. Right from the app, you can print, scan, fax, anything that you need to do, you can do it right from your phone right now.
It is so funny that sometimes you would have, some older people would come into the store and they would be, they're panicking because, they can't get this thing work or they can't seem to find a wire or something. and then you just need to use this wireless,
Okay. So do you actually, say you have a customer who comes into the store, buys a smaller printer. Do you go through the process, the instruction process with them, or you just leave them to read the manual?
Yeah, well, right now, I always tell them, because these days the printer manufacturers, they give you like a little pamphlet that comes inside the box. And these days they make it quite easy to follow. Like there is nothing complicated at all. But in the event that they still can't get the printer connected, we do offer a service of connecting it for them. But most of the time we are able to just walk them through connecting it over the phone if they really need that service.
Yeah, that instruction manual comes with, you take the paper off. And most importantly, you take the paper off.
Yeah, just take that red strip off. Yeah, that's it.
Take the tape off.
Take the tape off.
If you buy a fridge, make sure you take the tape off there. Well, I can't open the tray because it's all taped up, right?
Believe it or not, people do forget.
But some people forget, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I did too, because I got a fridge and then I forgot. I didn't realize there was foam taped in the freezer. There was something taped on.
Yeah.
So it was, the fridge was nice and cold, and there was this foam stuck in there. So, hey, some people, not all of us pay attention. So, so when businesses have sufficient supplies and they're comfortable, right? Your folks are comfortable. You have good workstations. This all can contribute to employee productivity, right?
Yes, that is.
You agree?
I agree 100%. Believe it or not, your work environment is actually the most important part of your job, because if you're not comfortable in your environment, chances are your productivity and efficiency levels will take a dive. One of the things that we actually offer at our store are ergonomic products, whether that be an office supply chair or desk that can be sit to stand, the desk that can raise and go back down to sitting level. We offer a lot of ergonomic products. That includes mouse pads and gel pads.
Gaming pads.
Yeah, all of those things that make sitting at a computer comfortable, because, sitting at a computer for extended periods of time and probably not even in a proper posture position.
How about this chair that I'm sitting in? This stool.
These chairs are pretty good. I mean, the mesh back and all that is working for you, keeping And
really?
Yeah.
So the mesh back it serves a purpose?
Yes, it definitely does serve a purpose because it keeps your back cool. But the main part, you feel that strip at your lower back.
Right.
That is lumbar support.
Right.
So that keeps your back straight and at the proper curvature to keep you comfortable for the majority of the day if you need to sit down.
Well, we need a chair for the host.
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah. We can sort that out for you.
Sort it out, right? Let Ms. Norman know that you can sort it out. So tell us about some of the other office supplies that that are available at Lee's Office Products.
Okay, so these days, some of the most popular items that have been going out the door are laptops, tablets, and printers and printer ink. A lot of people don't realize that we carry printer ink, but we do have a very wide selection of printer cartridges, ranging from HP, Brother, Canon. We do have some Lexmark, and I think we do have a few other types, but those are the main ones that go out the door, as well as printer toners for larger copy machines as well. As I mentioned a little while ago, we do sell office furniture, right?
Right.
That is something that I don't think a lot of people know that we carry in our store, but we do carry that. And even if we don't have exactly what you want, we can get it for you.
Well, now do you know this morning?
Yeah. Yes, and a little plus to what Chester is saying there. We have a catalog of for Lee's Office Products, which pretty much contains over 25,000 items.
Wow.
So the catalog makes it easy.
To the chairs.
Yes, name it. It's in there. Anything that you can think of your office needs, it's in the catalog. As we're not saying this morning, that over that 25,000 items that is within that catalog, it would be available in the store. That's impossible. But the basic things are there, and if there's something that someone would need, that they would look through the catalog and see that I like this. It's available at a point of ordering and getting it here for them.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be speaking with Mr. Chester Frederick, General Manager of Lee's Office Products Limited, and his son, Junior. We call him Junior, but he is rightfully Mr. Chester Frederick Jr. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
James Herman Connolly, 1890-1960. James Herman Connolly sailed as a cook on vessels traveling from Grand Cayman to the Keys, Tampa, Cuba, Jamaica, and Panama. When at home, he kept school for the San Bluff and Collier's children until they were eligible to attend the government school in East End at the age of 7. He was also a shopkeeper who sold groceries for various merchants. Mr. Connolly was a Sunday school superintendent and a catechist, lay pastor in the Gun Bay Presbyterian Church. He labored faithfully as a catechist for 33 years until illness prevented him from continuing.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience. Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
We are telling you ahead of time, giving you the heads up to get ready. The Black Tie Affair with a circus twist. Step right up. The annual gala hosted by Rotary Central for the Alex Panton Foundation. Saturday, May 29th, Marriott Beach Hotel Ballroom. Step right up. Support the Alex Panton Foundation, dedicated to serving and preserving young people through vulnerable times, mental health intervention, treatment, guidance, preserving life. The ambience of a circus affair. Tickets are limited, tickets are precious. Get your tickets from Rotary Central members. Go online to Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation Facebook pages. Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation. Rotary opens opportunity.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
April 14th, 2021 is Election Day in the Cayman Islands.
Running for political office is no easy feat. You need to be everywhere, all of the time.
Now is the time to get your important messages out to the voting public.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, has always been there. Whether you want to get your political commercials or infomercials on air, make in-house studio appearances, or have your district meetings broadcast live to the listening audience.
Set a time today to meet with one of our knowledgeable Radio Cayman sales account executives who have their fingers on the pulse of the community.
Call them today on 949-7799 or email rcsales@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, we've been in the community for just about 45 years. That means something.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Business Buzz. This is our first segment for this morning. We're speaking with Mr. Chester Frederick, and he is the general manager of Lee's Office Products Limited, and alongside him his son Junior. We call him Junior, but his rightful name is Mr. Chester Frederick Jr. Yeah. Thanks again for joining us in the studio this morning, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita.
I'm learning so much more about Lee's. Everybody, we all call you Lee's.
Yeah.
Lee's. Let's go Lee's.
And that's perfectly fine. Whatever rings off the tongue easier, that's what we want to hear.
And you're located, let's get some contact details before I forget. Okay. You're located Paddington Place.
Yeah, Paddington Place. That's the front building to Atlantics. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
number five. Building. Yes.
You can't miss it.
No, not at all.
You can't miss it,
especially with our new branding.
And your telephone number?
949-2303.
And you have a website, right?
Not at this time. We are working on getting that created as we speak.
An email address?
Email address is sales_leesofficeproducts@Candiwaukee.
So DJ Lynn had an interesting question for you, Chester.
Yes.
He wanted to know if you sell headphones.
Yes, we definitely do sell headphones. We do sell quite a few electronic items that ranges from cables for your computers or monitors. We have headsets for children to use when they're using Zoom for like online classes.
Speakers?
We do sell computer speakers. We sell ergonomic mouse or a wireless mouse. We do have like a wide range of electronic items. So anything that you need. As I said, even if we don't have it, we'll find it for you. But we do have a wide selection of electronic items.
Okay. And just in case DJ Lynn wants to be justice to the peace, and he must have his own stamp, embossing stamp. Do you do that? I know you did that a while back.
Oh, of course. That is a very, very popular item these days, and I'm glad that a lot more people are finding out that we do make custom stamps in store. So you can get your stamp anywhere between 3 business days, 3 or 4 business days. And that also includes embossing stamps.
Would I have to bring? Would I have to bring some sort of ID or some way to prove that I am this who I say I am?
Yes.
So when you make that stamp, it's I don't go around using something that's not.
So
not legal or
Of course. So whenever we do get requests for example, an official stamp or an official embossing seal, those are the ones that make the impression on the paper, not necessarily an ink stamp.
Mm-hmm.
We do require them to show us their notary public ID or whatever official ID that they have to back up that what it is that they're stamping is who they are or what they say they are.
Do you provide certificates as well or diplomas for some of the colleges?
Yes, so we do have diplomas. We have a wide selection of diplomas with different borders and stuff like that. Or you can have us print you custom certificates as well. And the possibilities are endless with that.
Okay, checking in and out of work. That's important.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I remember the day, Lee, you probably remember this too, when you had to, the time clock, you had to push that thing in and it'll stamp.
Yes.
And there's an easy way, you miss work, your friend can punch it for you.
Yeah.
Because, you didn't have to swipe.
Yes.
So those were good back in the days.
That was pretty much at the entrance of the door.
Yeah.
Don't miss it.
You can't miss it. But now you have swipes and you have these little thingies that you can use. So you have the Pyramid 2500 time clock bundle.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Okay, so it's funny that you actually bring that up. Okay, so the Pyramid 2500 time clock bundle, it's a bundle for mainly for small businesses that just want to keep track of timing of their employees, when they come in, when they come out, when they leave at the end of the day, when they leave for lunch, all of that in between. It also helps with payroll as well, if you just want a more accurate way to track their time, to tally up what they're supposed to be, what your employees are supposed to be paid. That's a perfect bundle for you if you're a small business. But it's funny because you did bring up that whole
punch clock,
the punch clock factor, where it's like, oh yeah, if you're showing up late for work, you can just have your buddy punch you in. Just a little bit before
for the record.
We're not gonna judge you. It's okay. We're not gonna judge you. It's okay. But as technology has advanced in these in these times, there's now like fingerprint scanners for punching yourself in.
Do you carry those?
We don't carry them in store, but we do special order them. We are getting a few in very shortly, so it's pretty much a system that you integrate with your IT. With your IT system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
you can't cheat with that one.
No. So yeah, you can have you can start at the basics, which is just a time card, or you can have a fob like what I see hanging around your neck. I think.
Fob.
And then there's also the highest form of security, which is the fingerprint.
But you can't be that.
No.
So you did mention with special orders that you'll take 3 weeks, approximately 3 weeks, or shorter, a shorter time if possible.
It really just depends. Yes.
Okay. And do you offer delivery services on island?
Oh, of course. You call us today, and you can definitely get your items today, as long as it's before 4
How about
o'clock.
if you came back in Little Cayman and you need office supplies?
We do ship over there quite often. We've been seeing a lot of support from the companies over there, and we really appreciate you guys in the BRAC. But yeah, so you can definitely give us a call or shoot us an email. Anyone in the BRAC. All we need to know is your business name, a phone number, and we'll send it over on a Jiffy for you, and you pay for your shipping on your end.
Yes, we have even had people coming from the BRAC and stopping by and just stopping at the store, picking up a few items to go back home with it. So the BRAC is part of.
Well, here's your opportunity to thank them again.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we and it's been over the years, you know, and we truly thank them for that, and always keeping us in mind. For their office products.
A final question for you. Why is good customer service so important to any organization? And I think Junior's going to take it.
Customer service is the most, or has to be the most important factor when it comes to business. And that is, the main reason for that is what resonates in your customer's mind. When you make that phone call to a store, not even a store, just anywhere that you need something from, the way that that company takes care of you is what you'll remember, and that is exactly what will bring them back that second time, that third time, and that just going forward in the future, them remembering that, you know what, I remember that place helped me out real well. And they'll recommend you to a friend.
He reminded me to take the plastic off the box.
Yeah,
yes,
ma'am. You better take that off.
Yes. and you know that, Susan, listen, Anita. Calling you Susan, Anita, you know that is something that I've stressed over the years in regard to Lee's office products, because customer service, I would pretty much say, is what have taken us to where we are today. I'm very serious in regard to customer service.
And on that note, I'll say thank you very much. Chester and Lee, thank you so much. Lee's Office Products Limited. Make sure you check them out in Paddington Place. Yes. And wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
And hopefully we'll have Anita. Yes.
Anita. Thank you, Anita and Susan.
Church, though, you know. Yes, we'll thank Susan this morning.
And thanks, Radio K-Man, for having us this morning.
Thank you.
We'll take it to the news.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 6:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 30th of June 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpensions.ky, and for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. Staff at the Health Services Authority are holding a sickle cell support group meeting at 5:30 p.m. today. CIGTV's Donna Bush has more.
The event is open to the public and will be held at the Women's Health Waiting Room at the HSA, where Dr. Anna Matthews will lead the discussion. If you're interested in attending the support group, you're encouraged to contact the genetics coordinator, Nurse Joy Marin, at joy.marin@hsa.ky, or call her on 244-2630.
The Deputy Governor is calling on civil servants to tell the stories of how teams went above and beyond the call of duty to help the community and make lives better in the Cayman Islands. The Deputy Governor has launched Team Awards for 2020, which will highlight how civil servants worked across ministries, departments, and SAGCs with the private sector and nonprofits to keep the community as functional and safe as possible during a global pandemic. Nominators are encouraged to submit a nomination form and will have until April 28th to do so. And it's a new home for the Civil Aviation Authority of the Cayman Islands. Last month, staff of the CAACI moved into a brand new purpose-built facility at 205 Owen Roberts Drive next to the airport. This after spending 16 years at a temporary location. Officials with the CAACI say the facility will provide state-of-the-art accommodations for staff and will facilitate further staff growth for the foreseeable future. In regional news, the Jamaican police are reporting that a main suspect in the murder of a constable has been shot dead. His name has not yet been released. Police say he was killed in a confrontation with members of the constabulary in Waterford, St. Catherine on Sunday. 2 illegal firearms were also reportedly seized. 36-year-old Constable Jermaine Bennett was shot dead in Gregory Park, St. Catherine last Tuesday while visiting his 5-week-old daughter in the care of her mother. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Concerns are growing among Olympic officials as problems facing this year's Games in Tokyo continue to mount. North Korea has announced that it will not take part, saying it wants to protect its athletes from the coronavirus. Infections have been rising in Japan since the state of emergency was lifted last month. In what appears to be a significant departure from her predecessor's controversial position on the coronavirus, the new president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, is to set up a task force of experts to advise the government. She said Tanzania could not isolate itself as an island in the fight against COVID-19. Credit Suisse has revealed it's lost billions of dollars from 2 disastrous investments and sacked 2 senior executives. The Swiss bank took a hit of nearly $5 billion from its involvement with the hedge fund Archegos. Talks are beginning in Vienna in an effort to salvage the 2015 nuclear deal, which was meant to ensure that Iran never acquires an atomic weapon. Both Iran and the US are present, but they won't meet face-to-face, and European diplomats are expected to shuttle between them. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin has asked Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to try to form a new government. The Likud party emerged in the strongest position from last month's inconclusive election. But President Rivlin says he doesn't believe any prime ministerial candidate would be able to secure a majority in the very fractured new parliament. A Spanish military group called Citizens in Uniform has made further allegations about supposed neo-Nazis in the army in a row that has led to threats of court action. An anonymous soldier from the group told a Spanish newspaper that the Defence Ministry had done nothing about a dossier documenting an alleged neo-Nazi military cell in Cartagena. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
I'm looking for a new pizza joint with that perfect crust. My car needs a bit of a tune-up, and my pregnant wife needs something from the pharmacy. So I turned to the printed yellow directory, and in an instant, the pizzas are ordered, The oil change is booked, and the thing that I'm not allowed to say out loud has been purchased for my wife. Problem solved. When you need something quick, do yourself a favor. Flip through the printed yellow directory. Stop searching, start finding. Yellow, we know local.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Radio K-Man Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy your mix of pop, hip-hop, dancehall, urban gospel. The Super Jam Show is
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center. Don't take chances with your family's future.
The University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Find your place in the Cayman Dream today. The UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322. Train with Dre. Train with Dre's lunch weight loss program. Get your meals right and lose weight today. No excuses, no gimmicks. Call Dre today at 928-3420.
The Super Jam on Radio Cayman.
Blue Marlin Restaurant. Takeout on Eastern Avenue. Delivery and catering.
Food is awesome.
Call 947-4752 to place your order.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
For additional weather information, visit www.weather.gov.ky. As well, stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress. It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Things just got a bit hotter on island. Come in today and order the new spicy Korean subs at Subway. They're sweet, spicy, and especially satisfying. Stop in and try the pulled pork with spicy Korean sauce, or the chicken with spicy Korean sauce. And you can message WhatsApp at 929-4658. Order online or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. The spicy Korean subs at Subway in 2 flavors, extra saucy and extra spicy. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Thank you, DJ Lynn. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz, and this is our segment, second and final segment for this Tuesday morning, April 6th. And this morning, it's quite a busy morning here in the studio. At this time, we'd like to welcome Mr. Wesley Howell. He is the Supervisor of Elections, and we also have in the studio Ms. Sheena Glasgow. Sheena is one of the Deputy Supervisors of Elections. Good morning, Sheena and Mr. Howell.
Good morning.
Good morning, Anita.
I always do this. Sheena, Mr. Howell.
That's okay.
Howell, Sheena.
That's okay. That's all right.
So, how was the long weekend? Had some rest?
It was a productive one.
Productive one.
I don't think any of our team members came out on Good Friday, but we worked just about every other day this weekend getting ready for the general election that is not that far away right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for putting in all that hard work. And speaking of time, general elections is on April 14th. Mr. Wesley, can you tell us, check your time clock and tell us exactly
so it's
how many days and hours and minutes and seconds?
7 days, 22 hours, 40 minutes, and 25 seconds. So,
wow, down to the second.
Yeah, we're counting down.
Well, thank you, and it's exciting. I know we're doing the business. This is a business buzz, and we're doing the business of the government, and that is running the country. And come April 14th, we'll know who's going to run the country, and we look forward to that at that time. But it's always exciting. There's always, are there going to be surprises? Or are we going to be, what's going to be the outcome?
Mm-hmm.
It's always about the outcome. But the two of you and on your entire team, you do the hard work. You do the heavy lifting.
He does the heavy lifting.
You watch him fetch the weight?
I have his back. He does,
just in
he
case.
Does the heavy lifting.
I like how you put that. I like how you put that.
We work with an amazing team of people. There's a wealth of experience with the team members, and they pull out all the stops, and it just make it happen. Happy to work with them.
And this is your final airtime this morning on the Business Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
We feel very privileged to have you in here to let our listeners, our voters know exactly what to do, what to expect, and how to do it. Now, just jumping into this, what is the total number of voters that can cast their ballots in this year's general elections here in the Cayman Islands?
All right. Well, the new official list came into effect on the 1st of April. Mm-hmm. And that number is now 23,609. However, that also includes some 16 persons who've registered and been included, but they're actually not going to be turning 18 before the 14th, so they won't be able to vote on the 14th. The law specifies that as long as they turn 18 on or before Election Day, they can vote. And right now, our official list includes 16 persons. So the total number of persons actually eligible to vote next week, Wednesday, is 23,593.
23,593.
Mm-hmm. And that's up almost 2,400 from 2017.
Wow.
It's actually up 2,382. We went to the polls in May 2017 with 21,227 persons eligible to vote.
Okay.
So there have been a number of organizations outside of the elections office itself who have really encouraged persons eligible to vote to register, and so I think we're seeing the effect of all of those efforts. So well done.
Yeah. Now, can you break down the registered voters per electoral districts? And we have 19 of those districts?
Yes. So the numbers that I'll share with you will include those 16 persons because we didn't break them out of, excuse me, we didn't break them out of the electoral districts. Starting with West Bay North, it's 1,312. West Bay West is 1,267. West Bay Central, 1,181. West Bay South, 1,537. Georgetown North, 1,297. Georgetown Central, 1,404. Georgetown West, 1,285. Georgetown South, 1,335. Georgetown East, 1,459. Red Bay is 1,320, while Prospect is 1,340. Savannah, 1,466. Newlands, 1,487. Bordentown West, 1,591. Bordentown East, our largest to date, is 1,664. North Side is at 836, while East End is 769. Cayman-Brac West and Little Cayman numbers at 582, while Cayman-Brac West is 477. East, sorry, thank you. Cayman-Brac East, 477.
Okay. Oh, Newlands is 1487. That many voters. It's such a small district.
But it's still Bordentown East that has the most at 1,664. But the whole Bordentown area is trending high. All four of those electoral districts in historic Bordentown. So the smallest one is actually Savannah at 1,466. That's the smallest of the four.
Okay.
So, but it follows the residential demographics that we're seeing. A lot of new homes are going up in that area, and families and persons are moving into that area, and that in turn reflects in the number of voters in those electoral districts.
All right. So let's talk mobile, postal or mobile, not postal, but maybe mobile, mobile voting, the deadline. When is the deadline?
Today is the deadline for all forms of mobile voting. So that's stationary mobile. That's where like our workers and police officers and other persons that are not able to come to the polls on the 14th will come out. And then what we call mobile has just been we take the polling station to individuals at their homes or wherever they may be located. And also today's the deadline for mobile applications for a person who will be in quarantine this weekend and into next week. And it's also the deadline for postal ballots. So we have a sort of busy 5 days coming up here. Tomorrow will be our last day for issuing postal ballots. Today is the deadline for applying. Tomorrow's our deadline for issuing to give people a maximum time to get those ballots back to us by the 13th. And then we'll be conducting mobile polling on Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday we have set aside for polling those persons who are in quarantine using our special friends from public health and the protocols that will ensure that we can do that safely.
That was going to be my next question. What sort of protocols do you have to enable voters who will be in quarantine or in isolation on election day?
Well, first of all, they have to apply, and they have to apply by today's deadline.
We're asking 5 p.m.
Yes.
So as opposed to midnight, so that our internal machinations can get going in terms of approving the applications, getting ballots ready to be issued come tomorrow. So usually we'd have a midnight deadline, but today we're asking 5 p.m., please, either in person or online.
Yeah. So for those persons who are...
That's important to know because...
Absolutely.
I always work with the midnight thing, I'm
so
a procrastinator.
Last minute,
yeah.
Yes.
So we've been issuing ballots since...
8th
of March. So
8th of March was the first day.
We've been at it almost a month now, and in true Caribbean style, we have some of our Cayman folks that are going to wait till the last minute to apply. But we're hoping that not too many of those do that, because we are still in a pandemic, even though we're sort of protected here in Cayman and in our little bubble. But there are delays getting ballots, even by courier, in and out of some countries, and folks are pushing it if they wait. But tomorrow's our last day to issue. Those will be sent up by courier, and then persons are asked to get those back to us without delay to get them back in by the 13th, so they can be counted on the 14th.
Worst case scenario, it's not here on the 13th, back by the 13th. What happens?
So the ballots for the returning officers have to be in their hand at 6 p.m. If it's not there, then it's not counted. So that the ballots that don't make it back don't actually get counted in the general election.
Fair. Don't procrastinate. So, this election is exciting. I mean, all elections are exciting, but your team, you've done the work, and you've got this all together. You've got it locked in. Do you think you have everything locked in, or you're still scanty in some areas?
No, this is a well-oiled machine that we run.
I want to hear that.
Our folks are ready to go. The few unknowns that we have, we don't know how many people are going to apply. Today, the last day. As Sheena mentioned earlier, we have some background work to do once we receive those applications to ensure that all the DHL envelopes are properly labeled with the right address and all those things. So our folks will be working late into the evening tonight to get that done. And then tomorrow morning, the returning officers will come in, and we have, conference rooms booked left, right, and center as they come in and issue those postal ballots and have them then ready for disbursement tomorrow afternoon for those that are going off island, and for those persons who are leaving island the next couple of days. Those persons will actually come into our office, pick up their ballots, go in our little booth, mark their ballot, seal it up in the envelopes with their declaration of identity, and drop that off with the returning officers for safekeeping until it can then be counted on the 14th. So yeah, very busy. In addition to that, then we'll also be preparing our teams for mobile voting on Thursday and Friday. And some of the numbers that we have coming up for mobile voting are actually quite high for the second round of mobile voting here. So again, our teams are going to be up, meeting at the office at 6 a.m. in the morning and departing around 7 to open the polls at 8 for mobile and start knocking on doors at 9. So yeah, very, very busy couple of days coming up here.
Make sure you have your coffee ready or your zero cocoa. No, just this is a question I want to know personally. You have folks in quarantine, and just supposing on the day of election, April 14th, you have someone who was supposed to be out on the 14th, to vote, and it so happened that they test positive when they have to, on their exit testing. What happens?
So they run the risk of not actually. They literally would not be able to vote because
it's not their fault, right?
It isn't, but so to preempt that, we actually reached out to Travel Cayman about 2 weeks ago, so that would have captured anybody traveling.
You have all the time
to say, listen, if you're overseas traveling in the next 3 weeks, you need to apply for a postal ballot. We can get it to you within a couple of days, and then you can vote before you come back. Because if you test positive, you can't travel.
Right.
If you don't make it back to Cayman, you can't vote. So take the safe route. Apply for the postal ballot. So I think that's why we only have, as of this weekend, received about 15 applications for persons in quarantine to actually vote. So we will pick those persons up and poll them on Saturday or Sunday and deal with it that way. But we have been trying to communicate to every Caymanian coming back via Travel Cayman, and they've been very kind and direct in messaging to those persons to say, listen, if you want to vote, here's the mechanism to do so. So it's not for lack of information. We've tried our best to get information out there and allow folks. But yeah, the public health risks of someone who is COVID positive coming out of quarantine to come to a polling station with 1,600 and odd persons is not good. So
no, it's not.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Okay, that answered my question. We're going to take a quick break. I want to say thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz, and we do have in the studio this morning Mr. Wesley Howell. He is the supervisor of elections, and Ms. Gina Glasgow, one of the deputy supervisors of elections. When we come back, we'll touch on voter influence and what the election law states relating to treating. Thank you, Lynn.
2020, unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Important announcement.
Applications are now open for summer programs at the University College of the Cayman Islands. Want to learn a new skill, continue your education, or progress your career? UCCI has something for everyone. From leisure courses to professional development, it's here on your doorstep. Plus, this summer only, many of our programs are online, so you can study with us from anywhere in the world. Don't miss your place. Apply now online, in person, or by phone or email. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky/admissions today. Classes start May the 10th.
It is truly important to our country that the voices of all the people in the Cayman Islands are heard on Election Day. Your vote counts.
April 14th, 2021.
Exercise your democratic right and vote. A public service announcement from your #1 community station, Radio Cayman.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
And that was quite a short break. Caught me off guard, Lynn. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz, our final segment for this Tuesday morning. Speaking with Mr. Wesley Howell, Supervisor of Elections, and Ms. Sheena Glasgow, one of the Deputy Supervisors of Election. And what does the election law state about relating to treating?
So treating is one of three offenses that relate to interfering with the way that individuals will vote. Also included in that would be bribing. So that's gifts, monetary reward, promises of goods in order to influence a voter to vote in a particular way or refrain from voting at all. And a person who corruptly does that would be guilty of that offense. Treating now is more focused on sort of food and gifts and expenses, those sorts of things, entertainment. So that's that specific one. And then undue influence is individuals who sort of use force, threaten, restrain, or in somehow either verbally or physically prevent somebody from voting at all, or to have them vote in a particular way. So all those offenses sort of work to corruptly influence the way that an individual would vote, and those are all covered by a fine that is $2,000 or 12 months imprisonment. So it's quite serious under the law in relation to those. So yeah, we've been partnering with the Anti-Corruption Commission. Mm-hmm. We have information out on our website and our social media channels directed at candidates and their agents and at voters, saying let's run a clean election and ensure that these things don't happen. For those complaints that we get at our office, we refer them to the police, who are the investigating arm for election offences, and individuals are also encouraged to just call up their local police station and report offences that they see, particularly if they happen in the evenings and on the weekends. The team is standing by to investigate any of those complaints that are there.
So how is it going so far?
We have passed along a few complaints to the police, but I prefer not to comment on things that are on the way. If somebody's charged, then obviously, that will come to light. But, some of the complaints are legitimate and some are not. I can remember back in 2017, I had a very vigorous complaint that there was a candidate who owned a gas station that was giving away free gas, and I alerted the police. They went to investigate and came back with pictures that showed that particular gas station was undergoing renovations. There weren't even tanks there, much less pumps, so there was no way that person could be giving away free gas. And so those are things that we just don't talk about until it pans out with a charge. Otherwise, we could actually be spreading false rumors even through
I agree.
A complaint at that point. So
okay, so if someone does have information,
yeah, they can contact our office, 949-8047. They can also ring up the police. They have the police have their non-emergency numbers as well, and report it, because an election offence is a crime, and those crimes can be prosecuted if the evidence is there. So.
Okay. So how is the elections office making it easy to get a voter ID card at the various locations in the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman?
We were in the Brac 3 weeks ago. We took it was our second trip within the last month. We took photos of, we issued a number of cards, and for those persons who were coming on as new voters on the 1st of April, we actually took their photos and grabbed their signatures. So now we've produced those cards and we'll have them delivered back to Cayman Brac to the registering officer for distribution. I would just remind folks that although voter ID cards is the preferred way of showing your identification when you come to the polls, it's not the only way. So if you have a driver's license, a passport, a government-issued ID, if you're a public servant, those IDs would all work in relation to showing who you are, and then you would be able to then vote through that process. So if you don't have that ID at this point, with the number of days we have left, and you have some other form of ID, don't sweat it. You can come with your other ID as well.
However, the office is open. We're open late this week. Is it till 7 or 8 p.m.?
7 most nights this week.
Yeah.
We were open on Saturday, and we were open yesterday from 10 to 4 as well. So again, making ourselves very available for individuals to get their IDs. On the 1st of April, when that new list came into effect, we had a steady stream of people, probably 8 or 10 deep. Throughout most of the day, we had 2 ID stations set up, and were able to quite quickly deal with those persons. But we did see a solid rush of individuals trying to get their brand new voter ID cards on the 1st of April last Thursday.
So can I, if I don't want to take a photo again, can I use my old ID card and you can just use the photo off of that? Is that possible, or do I have to take another photo?
That is possible. So you could attend in person. You can choose to use that. But if you have a voter ID card and your information is the same, the voter ID cards actually have no expiration date. So you would actually not need to even come in to get a new ID unless you've changed address or changed your name in relation to...
Actually, what we have been seeing, some of the older cards under former supervisor of elections, Kearney Gomez, had an expiration date, I think, of 2012. So we have seen some persons with those cards come in, and it's just been a good opportunity to update their photo if they wanted. If they didn't want a new photo, we just use the one on the database. But the current voter ID cards that are being issued do not have an expiration date on them. So
actually, that's a good point. So those older pre-2017 cards, they would have been issued under the old 7 electoral districts. So they would say, for example, West Bay, as opposed to West Bay North, West Bay West, West Bay Central, West Bay South. So other than North Side and East End, all of the other districts have been divided into small electoral districts. So those cards would not be reflecting your current electoral district if they weren't updated since 2017.
Okay, suppose you're registered. You were registered previously, and you got married. So your your registration would be in your maiden name, say maiden name, and you're now married. And my card is in my my old name. How does that work with,
So persons will sometimes come if they don't have a voter ID and they haven't changed as required by law,
right.
their name to reflect their current name. They would come usually with their marriage certificate or the deed poll along with their current form of ID to tie them back to that original one. The good thing about the way that the elections law is laid out is that candidates can only appoint agents that come from a particular electoral district. So with a number of agents that are within there, they tend to know individuals by face.
Yeah.
And if you come in and say that you're Susan instead of being Anita, somebody will flag that and say that you're definitely not Susan. So that's one of the aspects there. But yeah, folks, at this point, the deadline for making changes to the list of electors is long past, and we go with what we have on there. So we'd ask folks to walk with their documentation that shows their name change, if that's one of the things that you have. Absolutely, marriage certificate,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the other side of that is that we have a continuous registration system every quarter. So even though, sticking with your example, a woman who's gotten married and her surname has now changed, if she didn't meet the previous deadline to affect those changes for the list that we'll be using next week on election day, she can still do that at a future point throughout this year. She can even go in and do it now, and it will catch the next official list when that comes into effect. So it's a continuous process, even for name changes, for updating addresses, as well as for new, shall we say, voters who want to register to vote. So,
so is a vote? Do you have a voters guide available online? And do you have a printable PDF version?
There is a link on our website that says how to vote, and it actually shows how that marking is done, also where to vote. That's all there as well. There's also instructions that are displayed within the polling booth about the correct way to mark the ballot paper. So that's all available on the website.
Okay, how will your office be able to tell if a voter attempts to vote twice at a second polling station?
So part of the background work that our folks do is that we strike off individuals who are not able to vote on general election day. So those 16, 17-year-olds who won't be 18 by the 14th, they'll have their names will be struck through on the official list. We also will strike off any persons who were deceased since the list was finalized, and any persons who voted by post or by mobile before that date. When it comes down to an individual polling station, they will be divided by last name. So if I vote in Bordentown West and my last name is Howell, I will go. I can only go to one particular polling station in Bordentown West, which has the H last names in there. If I go next door, they'll send me back to that one. And then the agents are also provided with lists that are in that polling station. So the agents have the list of all the persons we were issued postal ballots to, the persons who voted by mobile and persons who were voting in person. So because it's one polling station that you're allowed to vote at, it's nigh near impossible to actually vote twice. And that's one of the reasons why candidates can have their agents present from the time we open the polls at 7 until we close the boxes at 6 p.m. So very robust system there with checks and balances, and very detailed in relation to the lists and persons who were able to vote where.
Proud of you guys. I feel very, very confident in all of this. Is it illegal for a voter to do a selfie, holding your ballot, your voted ballot? You just put your X on there and you're taking a selfie, but of course you can't take your phone in, right?
Well, it's not illegal, but it's highly discouraged.
Okay. And especially if you're going to post it on social media.
Yes, not a good practice.
Okay.
All of our processes in the elections office, let me rephrase. We have a lot of processes in the elections office geared towards protecting the secrecy of each voter and how they cast their vote. At the end of the day, yes, it is your vote, and we can't really stop you, but we really don't encourage that sort of thing. So when you come into the electoral district where you're going to be voting, the field officer's station will be set up to encourage people to leave their cell phones, to leave their smartphones, and then they collect them on their way out. Some persons may legitimately forget, and others may deliberately forget and take their cell phones into the booth with them. But again, it comes back to, we have so many mechanisms in place to protect people's vote and how they vote, and to ensure that they don't feel pressured or influenced to vote a certain way, that we discourage that practice. But as I said, it's not illegal, but highly discouraged.
Okay. Before we go to break, quick question. What is the law on prisoners of voting? And if someone does a write-in vote, is it illegal?
So persons who are in custody, who are on the voters list, can apply for mobile voting today. So we've communicated that with the prison director, who is very excited that the prisoners can actually exercise, the inmates can exercise their right to vote. Also, in the past, we've also accommodated inmates voting at the polls if they're properly escorted, and we make arrangements for them to attend in person as well. So they have all those options available to them, and we'll be working very close to ensure that anybody who is on remand or is otherwise able to vote while being an inmate will be able to do so.
Okay, and what is the write-in vote, and is that legal? Is it illegal?
Not sure what a write-in vote is.
All right, tell you what, think about it while we go to break.
Okay.
Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. It's 9:30 until 9 o'clock.
Join me, Joey Hugh, and Frank Cornwall on Wednesday, April 7th at 7:30 p.m. at Kirk Market Parking Lot. We will tell you all about our plans for Georgetown North and Georgetown Central and how we will take the country forward. See you Wednesday, April 7th, Kirk Market. You won't want to miss this.
This is a paid advertisement by the Progressives.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies, free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
On April 14th, you have the chance to make the right choice for West Bay South. I am Raoul Nicholson Coe, and I am ready and committed to serve the people of West Bay South. It's time for a new time, to create more and better opportunities for everyone, for better education, for better housing, for better employment opportunities and mental health programs that will benefit all Caymanians. On April 14th, vote for me, Raoul Nicholson Coe, your best choice for West Bay South. And let us work together for a better West Bay South and the wider Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman News.
Another fire at the Georgetown landfill.
We're mobilised to a fire in a metal waste facility on the landfill site.
They noticed that the travellers were in unapproved areas of a quarantine property, and it looked like they have tampered with their monitoring device.
The Ombudsman has ordered St. Ignatius Catholic School to destroy all copies of a recording of a meeting with a member of staff.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Oh, I wouldn't think about right. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Anita here, hosting along with DJ Lynn. You got me off cue there. Oh gosh, you're listening to the finals part of Business Buzz this morning, taking you up to 9 o'clock. Mr. Howell, Wazzy Howell, Supervisor of Elections, and Miss Sheena Glasgow, one of the deputy supervisors we have in the studio this morning. Our final countdown to general elections 2021 on April 14th. And before the break, we asked a question: if someone does a write-in vote, is that illegal? And we stumped Sheena and Mr. Howell.
So now that we know the definition of what write-in is, and essentially that's writing the name of someone you think would make a good politician who hasn't been nominated, that would not be illegal, but that would most definitely spoil the ballot. So please don't do that.
Don't do that. You'll have the photo on there, you'll have the names, and that should work. The photos,
the number, the name,
right? Number.
If they're a member of a political party, it would be the party symbol, or independent, and then a space where you put your X. But please do not write in somebody that you think ought to make.
I think we have a caller. Are you able to take any questions this morning? Yes.
Sure.
Yes, DJ Lynn. Yes. Good morning. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Thank you for having the show. I just had a question on the accountability that the candidates have to abide by, in particular the amount of money that is being spent on their campaign. Is that something that your guest can speak on? And a question that I have about it is, how are you keeping track of what is being spent, and whether or not the candidates are keeping to the amount that is limited to be spent during the campaign trail? Is there like a weekly submission of their accounting reports to verify the amount spent? Because it seems like some candidates are spending large amounts on signs and ads on Facebook and on the radio. So, just a concern that there might be some funding going on that is not being accounted for. But just a question, just to keep the playing field level with regards to the amount being spent in each campaign. I'd like to hear what your guest has to speak on that, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Thank you, listener.
So the candidates by law are allowed to spend $40,000 for the period between nomination day and general election day. They're not required to report on a weekly basis. Actually, the law does give them a considerable amount of time to get all their accounts in order and then submit their expense returns by the 19th of May. And then I have 10 days to review those and publish the same. So we provided guidance this time around to candidates from nominations day in relation to what the reporting criteria is. We've submitted to them the reporting template along with some guidance notes that we've developed along with some of our auditing partners. So we're hoping that the returns will be accurate, they will be complete, and through audit we'll figure out how those are. It is a significant offense to not report on all your expenses as candidates. It's also an offense for persons to purchase ads and other things for candidates and not have those reported as part of the candidates' returns. So the directions are quite detailed there in relation to that, how that $40,000 is spent. Maximum.
So even if someone else sponsor an ad for you, that is accountable.
Yeah, that's a gift that you've received from someone, so that should be reported as well. Yes.
That's good to know, and hopefully that answers the caller's all his questions this morning. Now, what kind of turnout is anticipated for this year's general election, Sheena?
Mr. Howell is the stats man.
He's a stats man. I like that.
So we were at around about 79% in 2017, which was the first time we moved to single-member electoral districts, our voter turnout is around 80%. So we're looking at just shy of 19,000 people voting in a general election. I think Cayman has a proud history of very solid voter turnout, which is unusual in the region and even in some developed countries to have that level of voter turnout.
And might I add peaceful?
Very peaceful.
And when I add peaceful, I'm asking for it again next week, please.
Yeah.
No alcohol served on that day, correct?
Yeah.
It's a public holiday here in the Cayman Islands, in case someone didn't know that.
The licensed establishments are not allowed to sell or even give away alcohol on general election day until an hour after the polls close, so that'll be 7 p.m. On the 14th. So yeah, it's a dry day.
It's a dry day.
In quotes. We figure the reality is the liquor stores will be doing solid business before they close, and there will be private drinking going on at homes and whatnot.
Yeah, so it is a public holiday, but it's also a day under which the licensed establishments are not able to serve alcohol until after the polls close, 1 hour after.
Actually, I remember hearing a PSA here on Radio Cayman, I think from the Liquor Licensing Board, reminding establishments of their obligations on election day. So kudos to them.
That's right. No, a caller just asked those IDs, the locations where they can be picked up.
So we've done some rounds, but now we're concentrating on issuing them from our offices. So our offices are located at 68 West Bay Road, Baytown Office Suites. It's the same plaza with KFC, just north of Butler's Road, across from the Wharf Restaurant. And we're open from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. every night this week, in order to ensure that those folks are able to get their IDs. But again, stressing that if you have another form of ID, you don't have to rush to get your voter ID. You can use your driver's license, passport, or government-issued ID in relation to work IDs and those things. To vote. I think we're out of time.
Yeah, that's DJ Lynn's cue. DJ Lynn, you have to forgive us today because this is important. So we want to get this out to the public, to the voting public especially. Sheena, I see you have the list in front of you, and I'm pretty sure that that's the list of polling stations. Can you give us a rundown of the stations?
Sure, for election day. So West Bay North, the First Assembly Church of God Hall. West Bay West, Sir John A. Cumber Primary School. West Bay Central will be Church of God at West Bay. West Bay South, John Gray Memorial United Church Hall. Georgetown North will be at the Georgetown Primary School. Georgetown Central will be at the Georgetown Public Library and Constitutional Hall. And Georgetown West, Cayman Prep Primary School. Georgetown South, John Gray High School. Meanwhile, Georgetown East will be at the First Baptist Church Hall. Red Bay will be at the Red Bay Primary School. Prospect at the Prospect Primary School. Savannah Primary School. Newlands, ICCI, that's International College of the Cayman Islands. Meanwhile, Boddentown West will be at the Agricultural Grounds Pavilion. Boddentown East will be at the Theoline L. McCoy Primary School, otherwise known as the Boddentown Primary School. Northside, Cradock Bank Civic Center. East End will be at the William Allen McLaughlin Civic Center. Cayman Brac West will be at the West End Primary School, and Cayman Brac East will be at Creek Primary School. So those are all the polling locations to vote next week, Wednesday, the 14th of April.
That's right. Any main points you want to leave with our listeners this morning?
Again, deadline is definitely today for postal ballot applications and mobile voting applications, including mobile voting while in quarantine. And we encourage folks, if they have any questions, they can give us a call at 949-8047. And if they are online, our website has a wealth of information, and we'll probably answer most questions there as well.
Anything from you, Sheena?
Oh, I'll just go ahead and say it. Leave the cell phones at home when you go out to vote next week Wednesday, please.
Well, thank you both for...
or in your car, Okay, in your car. Lock
That's
it
fair.
in your car.
That's fair. So my final question this morning is, are you ready for elections, general elections 2021?
Most definitely, our teams are ready to deliver, and they're ready to have the elections behind us as well. So,
yes. Thank you so much, and good luck with all of what you have to do until that time, and as you get ready for the next 4 years. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to have you both in the studio this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks to our listeners, our viewers, our previous guest this morning, Mr. Chester Frederick and Chester Jr. from Lee's Office Products. Thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. Thanks to our producer, Ms. Susan Watson, and to DJ Lynn. Thank you so much.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown.